Are you thirsty? I know I am. So I'm gonna have a drink in the middle of this video, just like you are gonna have a drink in the middle of your next V-Rising PvP Rumble. Welcome back, friends. You can call me Soul, and today I wanna share some tech I've been practicing in secret for V-Rising PvP. In the 1000+ hours I've spent on this game, I've only ever seen people drink a healing potion only when they are a safe distance away from their enemies or when they're hidden behind something. But what if I were to tell you that it is possible to drink right in the face of your enemies? Before we can drink in the face of our enemies with success, first we must understand the mechanics behind the healing and how it all works. So let's get to understanding, shall we?
Healing potion mechanics.
In V-Rising, combat has a restrictive effect on healing. There are two types of combat: PvE combat and PvP combat. I won't go into detail explaining the differences between the two combats, but they have the same restricting effect on the healing potion. And that restriction is, after losing more than 25% of your maximum health in combat, you cannot heal it back while you remain in combat. You can only heal up to 25% of your max health. The black part of the health bar represents the health you can heal back while in combat, and the transparent part of the health bar represents the health you cannot heal back while in combat, whether it's by the use of abilities or healing potions. There are 3 different types of healing pods that you acquire by reaching higher progression levels, and they can all be stacked. These potions are the Vermin Solve, the Blood Rose Brew, and the Blood Rose Potion. Today we're only talking about the use of the Blood Rose Potion since it heals the most and the fastest and has the shortest time to drink, which is 3 seconds. While active, the healing potion effect gets cancelled by any direct hits. That being said, if you have a shield on you and sustain a hit that does not reduce your health, the effect of the healing potion will not be cancelled. Even though the healing effect can be cancelled by any direct attacks that deal damage to your health bar, getting hit while in the drink animation does not cancel it, whether you take damage or not. As you can see represented by the green numbers, even though I'm receiving attacks constantly, should you go through the drinking animation, the first tick of the heal cannot be cancelled, and you will always get at least 1 tick per successful drink. More on that later. Next, we will talk about all the abilities that do cancel the drink animation. In my testing, I've discovered that every ability that inflicts a crowd control effect cancels the drinking animation. Knockback seems to have some weird behavior where if a spell that has a jewel equipped with the effect that makes the spell knock back, then it does not cancel the drinking animation. Ranged weapon abilities that knock back also do not cancel the drinking animation, but their melee counterparts do. However, if a spell has an innate knockback ability without the need for a jewel like the Spectral Guardian or Void, it does cancel the drinking animation as well. Right now you are seeing all the weapon abilities that do cancel the drink animation. I also included the 2 spells that cancel the drink animation because of knockback. The spells that cause crowd controls are not included here because, as you might expect, they also cancel the drink animation. I should also mention that the Spear Q ability is also in a unique situation because it has its own crowd control type. And should you become immune to it because of diminishing returns, then the Spear Q also does not cancel the effect. I didn't test this with every single crowd control type, but based on what I've seen, all of them will behave just like the Q ability. Now, let's talk about the Blood Rose Potion healing capabilities and how exactly does it heal you. The potion heals you for 55% of your maximum health over 10 seconds. It ticks every second, restoring 5.5% of your maximum health per tick. Considering that we will be healing in combat, we only heal 25% of our maximum health, which means we should be targeting 4 ticks, or in other words, we need to heal for 3 seconds to recover 22% max health, which is most of the recoverable health. You may be wondering, why is it that we need 3 seconds and not 4 seconds for 4 ticks? That is because if you remember previously I mentioned that the first tick happens instantaneously and we need to wait for 3 more to get most of our recoverable health while in combat. Or we can wait for an additional second to recover that last 3% for the maximum amount of health that we can recover while in combat. It is also worth noting that if you drink 2 Blood Rose potions back to back, you get 2 ticks at the same time for 1 second. Yet another thing that we should know is that the damage over time effects like Ignite, Burn, Poison, Agonizing Flames do not cancel the healing effect. They are also unable of dealing a killing blow. The only exception to this is the Heart Strike ability, whose damage over time effect does cancel the healing effect of the healing potions. And that is everything there is to know about healing potions, specifically the Blood Rose potions, and how it works. Now that we know how it works, let's talk about some of the ways that we can utilize this in combat. The main way that I've discovered to use this in combat would be to pair it with an ability that offers invincibility frames. Pair it with abilities that counter or abilities that block. The moment you drink the healing potion, you want to use an ability that will make it so that you cannot be hit in an attempt to have the effect on you for at least 3 seconds. In my opinion, you can pair this best by using a mist counter, which not only closes or creates distance from your opponent, but also grants you a movement speed buff with the right jewel equipped, and fears your enemies, on top of resetting the cooldown to your Q ability. It does require timing, but if you time it well, it is virtually impossible for your healing to be cancelled because there is no cast time to a counter, and you are free from the drinking animation the moment you gain the healing effect. And the best part is, even if your opponent does not fall for your counter and waits, the duration of every counter in the game is 1.5 seconds, which means you will be getting at least 1 extra tick at worst and 2 extra ticks at best, as they are stuck waiting for your counter before they can do anything. Now, spells like Soul Burn can take you out of the counter, or an AoE can hit you through a counter, cancelling your effect. But even so, you are not without options. Every AoE spell has a cast time, including Soul Burn, which is slow enough for you to react with an ability of your own. You could use the Slasher Q ability, which distances you from the opponent, makes you invincible for the duration and allows you to continue to heal. Or you could use the Pistol E ability as well, which would do the same. The Greatsword E ability also would accomplish the same, which means with this strategy you are never out of options. Spectral Guardian also suddenly becomes far more useful, as using it gives the enemies the weakened debuff, making them deal 15% less damage. The Guardian also keeps putting a shield on you as long as you remain in his very big AoE range, and acts like a meat shield on top of everything between you and your opponent, making it so that you can drink behind the golem, oftentimes in safety, as the opponent struggles to cancel your drinking animation, wasting his cooldowns. I also noticed I landed almost every counter as a result of this, because your enemy does not want you to drink, and oftentimes will stop at nothing to interrupt your heal. But it gets even better. The drinking animation can be cancelled at any point, instantaneously into an ability, which means you can easily bait out a valuable cooldown and react with a counter or something else, baiting your opponent into wasting their cooldowns as they attempt to stop you from drinking. Drinking in combat truly does open up a lot more possibilities, and what you've been seeing in the background so far is me showcasing some of the ways in which you can take an advantage of this in PvP. Now, let's see it in actual combat in action as I do a best out of 5 with our very own Mesatsu. May the best drinker win.
Perfect.
Alright, that's the end of the video. Thank you, Mesatsu, for your help. Tell me, how do you feel about losing to your brother 3-2?
Alleged, brother.